I'll call the meeting to order and welcome everybody to the January 20th, 2026 council meeting. Can I get a roll call?
Councillor Nunnally.
Aye.
Councillor Walker.
Here.
Councillor Gabrielle.
Here.
Councillor Blank.
Aye.
Councillor Dowd. Councillor Waterman.
Here.
Councillor Fisher.
Here.
Mayor Hunter.
Here. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Mr. Fisher, will you lead us?
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is that my phone? Here, Sid. Oh, Lisa, you got your audio going.
We have our agenda before us. I'll look to council for a motion.
Your Honor,
Mr. Waterman.
I move the agenda as published.
Second.
Ms. Gabriel, second. Thank you. All those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion carries. Move on to our consent agenda. We have two items on the consent agenda. First item being council minutes for January 5th, 2026. The second item is police officer confirmations. This item considers council confirmation of officers Westfall, Ormiston, Buis, Franklin, Surrey, and Malloy to the Kalispell Police Department. Is there any public comment on tonight's consent agenda? Please step forward and state your name at the mic. You went online. Okay, I'll look to council for a motion. Mr. Nunnally.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Ms. Gabriel, second. Thank you. All those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Chief Venezio.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Proudly before you tonight for the confirmation of 6 of our newest Kalispell police officers. Police officers Westfall, Ormiston, Buis, Franklin, Surrey, and Malloy have all met the requirements, including the Montana Law Enforcement Academy or its equivalent, KPD field training program, and 1-year probationary period to be confirmed as police officers in the city of Kalispell. Each of these officers have displayed the work ethic, skill set, and character to be confirmed with KPD. Due to the amount of officers tonight, we elected to forego individual speeches. They were pretty upset about it, but they did share a little bit of information, and I'll go over each one with you all. So starting to my left, this is Officer Lucas Surrey. Lucas was born in Calgary, Alberta. He spent most of his life in the United States, receiving a bachelor's degree from the University of Florida for materials science and engineering. Lucas has worked jobs around the valley, including a lift attendant at Whitefish Mountain Resort, a concrete worker. He's also worked for an aerospace company as an intern and for the University of Florida football team as the equipment manager. All of this experience led Lucas to ultimately find his calling as a law enforcement officer. Lucas would like to thank everyone who helped him along the way to achieve this dream and allow him to be in the occupation that he's called to do. Next is Rich Ormiston. Rich was raised in Troy, Montana. He graduated from Montana State University with a degree in history. He then enlisted in the Montana Army National Guard at 17 and later commissioned as an officer in 2017. This includes 1 deployment to Iraq. He has served as a police officer with the city of Livingston for 4 years before joining the Kalispell Police Department. Rich is engaged to be married and is looking forward to buying a home in the near future. Next is Bob Franklin. After working in manufacturing for 25 years, Bob decided to pursue what he described as a more impactful career. With the support of his wife and 4 children, he began the journey of hiring into law enforcement. Bob has said this has been one of the most challenging and rewarding experiences of his life, and that getting here would not have been possible without the exceptional training and guidance from all personnel at the Kalispell Police Department. He would like to thank the personnel at KPD. He'd also like to thank all staff for trusting him to go out every shift and to do his best to provide the highest level of public safety while upholding the rights and dignity of the great people of Kalispell. That's our mission statement. Nicely done. That's good. He is excited what the future holds for him at KPD. Next is Aaron Westfall. Aaron was born and raised in Kalispell. He's a fourth-generation Montanan. He's married to his wife, Courtney Westfall, a first-grade teacher at Peterson Elementary School. They share 2 daughters, Mackenzie and Olivia. Aaron has a long career in law enforcement, first starting as a military policeman in the United States Marine Corps, then as a Whitefish police officer for 4 years after his enlistment. He then worked over 20 years as a deputy at the Flat County Sheriff's Office before retiring in 2024 and coming to KPD. Aaron still enjoys serving his community and continuing his law enforcement career with KPD. Stephen Buis. Stephen was born and raised in Clearwater, Florida. In 2009, he joined the Army as an infantryman serving in 3rd Ranger Battalion. After active duty, he joined the National Guard and served as an infantry team leader. In 2017, Stephen began working with the Clearwater Police Department and served as a patrolman, a SWAT team assistant team leader, and undercover narcotics detective. In 2023, he moved to Kalispell with his family and he began working with KPD in 2024. He's been happily married to his wife Brittany for 15 years, and they have 2 amazing children, Evelyn and Jack. Savannah Malloy. Savannah was born in Utah, where she grew up with her parents and 2 older brothers. She is an outdoor fanatic, loves hunting, fishing, and riding horses. A lot of Savannah's childhood was watching her dad carry out his career as a sheriff's deputy. He would tell her numerous stories. As she got older, she was able to partake in many ride-alongs with him, which grew her passion for law enforcement. In 2016, Savannah moved to Kalispell and explored many career options, but in the back of her mind, law enforcement was calling her name. In 2021, Savannah started in law enforcement as a detention officer for Missoula County. After a couple years, she moved back to Kalispell, where she began her career with the Kalispell Police Department. With the support and encouragement from friends and family, Savannah knew this was her time to start her lifelong career in law enforcement. Savannah wants to thank everyone who's helped her to get through the highs and lows of this past year, inside and outside of KPD. It's been an incredible journey so far, and she's excited to see what the future holds and feels extremely blessed to be a part of this department and this community. So thank you to these 6. They are an exceptional group of folks, and I can tell you this past year has had a lot of highs and lows and a lot of challenges for them, and they continually rise to the occasion, and they are absolutely the standard that we expect when we hire here at KPD, and I'm proud to have them confirmed here. So thank you, guys. Mayor Hunter, I have all these badges prepped for you.
Thank you.
Sharpened.
Yeah, and Mr. Nunley, I know you have several friends, so if you'll join me.
Okay. Sam has friends.
Not many,
I've watched Mayor
but they're in good
Johnson
places.
struggle with
I got them at least opened up, and they have theirs prepped also. I didn't try to sabotage you, I promise. I got them here.
your badge, and I will do my best and try not to harm you.
You're fine.
Very good. Perfect. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
Georgetown. Aaron Westfall.
Welcome all to the city. Thank you for your service to the community, and please stay safe out there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yeah, quit the house.
Now there's tons of parking now.
All right, we have no committee reports this evening, so I'll open up public comment. This is for anyone who wants to give public comment on anything that is not on the agenda this evening. Please step forward, state your name at the mic.
Ron Gerson, 9 4th Avenue East in Kalispell. I'm here neither as a member of Valley Neighbors nor as chair of the Flathead Democrats, but rather as a citizen. And I have no prepared remarks except that I would like to request that the city council and the mayor and the city manager and Chief Venezio take into consideration the turmoil that's going on in other cities around the country, specifically generated by attacks on immigrants, and reflect on what is happening here in our city and our county, and see to it, if you see your way to it, to protect our immigrant community members to the full extent of both the law and common decency permits. Okay, there are lots of folks that stand with them and behind them in support, and yet they live in fear and insecurity. And I just think that we as a city need to address those issues and do what we can for them. So I know there may not be a tremendous amount of actual legislation or council decision-making that you can do, but there are certainly strategies and an approach which can be more favorable than might have been in the past in other entities within our county. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gerson.
Hello, Council. My name is Colton Little. I'm a student at Flat Valley Community College, and I live in 3195 Montana Highway 206 in Columbia Falls area, in the county area. And to me, I agree with Mr. Gerson. As a student and a person who's born in this county and has lived here for almost all of my life, I think we have done a really good job of taking care of our neighbors. And the focus of our city governments on providing safety for everyone, upholding the laws, and really focusing on those things which affect each other. To me, what it means to have, because I think the biggest thing is just to say, like, thank you, please continue the good work that you're doing. I think where our city is right now, that is our focus. We have been committed to safety. I think that things have changed around the country. There's lots of turmoil. I know people who, whether they're Native American or they're Latino or otherwise, at the college and in the community who have been fearful about these changes, in part due to the national events, but also in part due to events in and around this city and neighboring ones. You may be familiar with some of the cases that have happened with the Whitefish Border Patrol. That's the main thing that has sort of brought this attention to me is to see, recently one of the people taken was a 17-year-old girl, just barely older than my younger brother, and to know the kind of conditions and situation that they are being put through is certainly concerning, at least, and at most it is very frightening that that could happen to people in our community, and that these kind of forces and what could be doing good for us, what could be taking care of each other, keeping us safe, and can also be used to do harm and to cause fear. And it's a scary thing when fear is taking root in what is supposed to be a free and democratic society. So I just thank you for listening to us about these concerns, and really just please continue the job that you're doing. And if these things come more into the local sphere, something that you can do something about, or that you can plan for, to avoid conflict, to avoid the kind of harm that we might see. I just ask that you please keep in mind the people and their safety first. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Little.
Good evening. My name is Arthur Dunn. I live in, I always forget the address number. It's down on Lower Valley Road. I work at a butcher, as a butcher. And only lived in Kalispell for 2.5 years, or the Kalispell area. I'm originally from Portland, Oregon. Grew up in Gresham, a suburb of Portland, and have lived in both Gresham and Portland. And I lived through chaos in Portland because Portland was a refuge city that refused to cooperate with the federal government in enforcing the laws of this nation. And not only did I see chaos in riots, and literally a siege of the federal courthouse in Portland for a whole summer. It also, I witnessed just widespread devolution of the society. I grew up in Portland and was never a big city guy. I loved going hiking out in the Cascades, but at least the city was pretty and it was civilized. It was pleasant enough. Sure, we always had our homeless problem, but it wasn't ridiculous. But as the city itself became antagonistic toward the law of the land, just chaos reigned. And I don't want to see that happen here. Kalispell is a beautiful city. And what we're seeing right now and elsewhere in the nation, where cities are refusing to cooperate with the federal government and with ICE, which is enforcing the law of the land. And when you look at the statistics, ICE, those that they are arresting, 70% are criminal aliens. Not all aliens or illegal immigrants are well, they're all criminals. They're not. The crime is a civil suit to a civil crime to come into this nation illegally, but ICE is focusing on those that have committed violent crimes. Earlier today, I was reading all sorts of stories where Americans are the ones who suffer when we keep these aliens who come in and then commit violent crimes against Americans. And I want to remind all of you that your duty as council members, as our mayor, are to the people of Kalispell, who are citizens of the United States. And when criminal aliens come, they are in violation of our laws, and their crimes are against the people of the United States, the people of Kalispell. So I just want to encourage you to, if ICE comes to the valley, to cooperate with them and not to cause chaos like we see elsewhere in the nation. And this is for the protection of the people that you have a duty to, the people of Kalispell. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dunn.
Hello, my name is Josh Lee. I live on 112 Sunset Court in Kalispell, Montana. I'm a senior at Glacier High School, and I originally came to speak about, the working with CBP or ICE if they happen to come to the valley, and then I was like, I might not speak, but after hearing the words of the previous speaker, I feel that I need to stand up for a group of people who may not have their voice heard. If we take the logic of the previous speaker and believe that that it's your duty to protect citizens of Kalispell, Montana, which I believe it is, then you would do everything in your power not to work with federal authorities who have minimal training, federal authorities who have already killed 35 Americans in 2025, federal authorities who killed a 37-year-old single mother last week, federal authorities who threw tear gas under a vehicle and gassed out a family of 5, including an 8-month-old child who was not breathing after the incident and had to be resuscitated. You would protect the 21-year-old college student from Southern California who shot in the eye with a rubber bullet and will be permanently blind. If ICE comes to our valley, it is your duty to not work with them and do anything you can to actually protect the citizens of Kalispell and to do all of the things to actually help us, right? Federal authorities have no regard for the people of Kalispell. They don't. They do not care. The people that do are you. And I truly believe that. I truly believe that whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, an independent, libertarian, whatever it may be, that you ran for this seat because you wanted to help the people of Kalispell. No offense, but the city of Kalispell, city council, is not the most high political position. So I believe that you ran for the purpose of helping people. And I hope that you'll remember that. And I hope that, I'm an 18-year-old, I'm a senior in high school, I'm gonna go off to college soon. And I hope that someday I'll be able to come back to the valley and say that my valley is better than when I left it. I worry about that right now. I've been sitting here in the room where it all happens, where I've been seeing videos over I looked at this summer. Right, I was an intern at the Kalispell Chamber of Commerce, and I was tasked with sleuthing through videos to see if you guys were actually listening to public comment, which unfortunately the numbers say that you weren't, but we won't get into that. And I hope that will change. I hope that you'll listen to the actual people of Kalispell and understand that you have the ability to make Kalispell a better place. And I think that in your hearts, you know that that's what you want to do. And I hope that you'll remember that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Hello, my name is Trisha. I live on Montana Street. I came to ask you guys not to work with ICE or Border Patrol because when they come here, Minneapolis has shown us they are not after immigrants only. They are after everybody now. Everybody who they want to pick on. They're after me. They're after brown and Latino members of American citizens. They are disappearing American citizens in Minneapolis today. I haven't checked today, but I'm sure that they are. I know that they were a day or two ago. These people are unaccounted for. They have taken 4 members of the Oglala Sioux tribe, 3 of which have yet to be accounted for. It is impossible to deport Native people. They are the most American people there could be. So please do not support ICE. Please be aware, everybody, of what is going on in this country right now, because it is not okay. And if we don't stop this, we have to stop this. We don't have a choice. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further public comment? Okay, we'll close public comment, move on to the action agenda. We have 2 items on the action agenda. First one is council appointment to Ward 3. This item considers the appointment of candidate to the vacant Ward 3 City Council seat. Mr. Megan.
Yes, Mayor and Council, the last work session, we went over this briefly, talking about state law in regards, state and local code in regards to the process for filling Councilman Hunter's Ward 3 seat. There has been 6 applicants. The applicants spoke at the last work session. So just looking forward to getting an appointment, as state law does require us to do that within 30 days. And other than that, just happy to answer any questions. There has been some materials presented as far as how it was done previously as a guide. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for staff? Okay, I'll open this item up for public comment. Anyone wishing to speak, please step to the mic. Okay, anyone online? Okay, close public comment. I'll proceed to make a nomination. First, I want to say that we had 6 incredible candidates. I think any one of them would have been great in the role, and I'm so happy we had such a great selection of folks to choose from. I did call through the council to get a temperature where folks were sitting, and based on those conversations, I'd like to nominate Dustin Leffridge for the position, and I'd seek a motion to that effect.
Second.
I have a motion first.
Oh, you can't know.
That's a nomination. We have to motion.
Mr. Dowd.
Your Honor, I would like to motion that, I'd like to move that we appoint Dustin Leffridge to the position of City Councilor Ward 3.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Dowd. Mr. Fisher, any comments or any discussion? Mr. Dowd.
Thank you, Your Honor. First off, I know all of the applicants to some degree, and I am extremely pleased that we had 6 people with such a heart to come out to, go for this position. In fact, it's mind-boggling when we can't get people to run for a single ward seat, but when we have an opening in Ward 3, we have 6 people show up. So that kind of shows some of the dedication of that ward to this city, and I really appreciate that. I'm looking at Ward 4 right now going, hey, you better step it up at next election. I want to see more than one person on the ballot. And I would be the incumbent there, so I want competition. I want somebody to step up. Anyway, I really appreciate all of you. None of you would have been a bad choice. The decisions that I made personally came down to who I thought would complement this current council right now. And I had to go for the person I thought would mesh with the council and fill in gaps that we had. And I really appreciate everybody that put in for this position. I wish I could get all of you up here because I would love to have more people on council that are dedicated and want to do some work. So I appreciate you all. I apologize to the 5 that didn't, make it if this vote passes, but don't give up. There's an election in 2 years for the same seat. Thank you.
Your Honor, I concur. I think we have 6 great people, and I want to thank all 6 of you for putting your name forward, for putting into the process. It is hard enough just to run for office, but I think that to be able to come and testify and be able to present yourselves is really commendable to all of you. As I've mentioned at the last meeting, I do hope that the mayor and we can find ways to engage all 6 of you meaningfully and as soon as we can, because I think that that's what I heard in your comments were a great deal of passion about the community, and it made me very proud to be a representative of Ward 3, and I'd be happy to serve with any and all of you up here, but also in our chambers. I learned a lot at the last meeting, but Mr. Lethbridge, one thing I didn't know about you was that you were a pilot, so happy to hear that, but I actually thought that was a really meaningful insight, just because I know that the lease and our work with having an airport is one of those multiple partnerships that we have to make this community work. So I really did appreciate you sharing that insight and also bringing your son last week. So again, thank you everybody for applying, but thank you, Mr. Lethbridge, and I support this.
Yeah, and I'll echo those words again. Such great candidates. I also have several friends who applied, and it's always tough for the friends who didn't proceed. But Mr. Lethbridge, you're very well qualified, and I look forward to having you join our council. You'll do a great job. So with that, roll call vote.
Counselor Nunley,
Aye.
Counselor Walker,
Aye.
Counselor Gabrielle,
Aye.
Counselor Blank,
Aye.
Counselor Dowd,
Aye.
Counselor Waterman,
Aye.
Counselor Fisher,
Aye.
Mayor Hunter.
Aye, motion carries. Congratulations. Moving on, so we'll have you take an oath next week and bring you on next week. Second item on the agenda, city nomination to Flathead County Solid Waste District Board of Directors. This item considers the nomination of a city representative to this board for appointment by the Flathead County Board of Commissioners. No staff, anything? No. So I guess I will open this up for public comment. Anyone wishing to speak? Step to the mic. Okay, so in the past, Mayor Johnson always took this role because we didn't have a lot of interest in it, but we do have new council members, and I did check with them, and Lisa Blank has agreed to step forward. So I would like to nominate Lisa Blank for the position. Could I get a motion to that effect?
Your Honor, I move Councilperson Blank to this appointment with the county.
Second.
Mr. Fisher, second. Thank you. Any discussion?
Again, I think that this is actually one of those really interesting times. I'm glad that a council member is interested in being part of this. I do think that the life of our community actually does involve our landfill and wanting to see that is doing the best service for the city, but also the best is for the citizens of the community. So support you moving with this.
Ms. Gabriel.
I would second those sentiments. This has always been referred to as the dump board. So, and Mr. Olson was on, from way back in the day, Mr. Hank Olson was on for a long time, and then, can't remember who was in between, but Mayor Johnson said he learned a ton when he was on that board. So I think there's a lot to be done and learned, and thanks for stepping up to do it.
And I was happy, I was very excited to learn that you were excited to be on the board.
I'm not sure what that says about me.
And it dovetailed with your interests, and so I think that just goes to show that you're going to do a great job. So thank you for stepping forward. Appreciate it. Get a roll call vote.
Counselor Nunley,
Aye.
Counselor Walker,
Here, aye.
Gabrielle. Gabrielle,
Aye.
Blank.
Is it appropriate for
Counselor Blank.
myself at this point, I think?
Well, yeah, we'll have you abstain.
Yep.
Counselor Dowd,
Aye.
Counselor Waterman,
Aye.
Counselor Fisher,
Aye.
Mayor Hunter.
Aye, motion carries. City manager report.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, after about a year and a half, Planning Commission has forwarded a draft land use plan for your consideration. We still do have a couple of months here before it has to formally be adopted to be in accordance with state law. As you recall, under the Montana Land Use Planning Act, we had to put together a land use plan. Staff has worked with the Planning Commission and the community stakeholder groups for about the last year and a half. So we'll be looking, having a work session on that next week. Really just to kind of give a brief summary of it, knowing that probably will include a number of work sessions. It is a lengthy document and it's an important one, but we'll kind of go over the process to date, how we got here, and then kind of some steps forward on that. Regarding the new council member, Dustin, we'll reach out to him for an orientation, as well as, like I said, have the oath of office next week so that he can be up there in a chair with you guys. And then also, getting ahead a little bit, but just now that we do have another council member on seat in the ward seat, be looking at doing pictures February 2nd. I will remind you next week. we had that kind of lined up previously and didn't get a chance to do that. So be looking at that. And Lisa, I will be reaching out to you. It is an important time with the landfill and our biosolids. So be working with you and city staff, getting you up to speed about what's going on in the processes on that. So I'll reach out, and that's all I got.
Thank you. Council reports. Start with you, Ms. Gabriel, if you want to. Start with you and go that way.
All right. I want to reiterate, I didn't make any comments really regarding the candidates, but I was so thrilled with the diverse people that applied from so many different backgrounds. And I was particularly impressed with Madison, who was our youngest applicant, I assume. Hoping that that's a trend that continues, that we get some more folks on who are younger and really, really want to be part of their city leadership. So thank you for applying. We'll get you involved somehow, and we'll hope you'll run in a couple of years. Thank you.
Yeah, same sentiments. Just thank you guys for running. Don't let this stop you. Please keep being active, keep coming to meetings, keep commenting. We need that feedback. We need more people like you involved. So please, thank you.
I would echo the same thing, that it is important to have people in the citizenry that is willing to step up and take that oath and run for the office. It's humbling when you do get up here. You'll feel that here next week. But it does mean a lot to a community, and it does warm my heart that so many people did come out to put their name up, to stand up for their thoughts. So I appreciate that, everyone that stood up to run. I have one other thing that I really appreciate. Thank you, Ryan, for letting me go down and talk with the officers. Thank them. Sorry, I swore I wasn't going to do this. Emergency services mean a lot in our communities. And with that, it's not just the men in blue, the men in brown or tan or green, whatever color uniform they wear. But it's also those men and women that put on a really heavy outfit with oxygen and go running into a burning building. As some of you may know, South Kalispell Fire Department lost a couple of members. A couple of good men this last week. So if you could keep a thought in your prayers for Jimmy Homie Holmes, and for Ben Brown. I had the opportunity to know Ben in a couple ways, both from the fire department, but also that he was a cowboy's cowboy. Man who truly stood up for the Western way of life. And he was taken away too young. So if you could, please keep their families in your thoughts and prayers as they go through this difficult time. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for recognizing the loss that the community has had. I wanted to thank everyone also for the trust in placing me on the solid waste landfill work that is coming forward. And yes, I actually truly am excited to take on that work. My first job out of college was in Superfund remediation, and we spent lots of hours at landfills. And so I learned to appreciate just how important they are to the communities and in so many ways. So I am excited to see how I can work with that group to make things better for Kalispell in so many ways and on so many levels, as well as the county. So thank you for that. I am looking forward to that. And lastly, I did already express my thanks last time, but and I didn't speak previously, but I would echo the sentiments. It is a very vulnerable experience. Even though I ran uncontested, it was still something to put yourself out there and expose yourself in a way that you just don't have an idea of how it's going to feel when you put it out there and have other people decide upon your fate. And yet I would echo also is I hope that does not detract from your commitment to our community. And we look forward, I personally look forward, if you want to work with me on the landfill issues. I have lots of thoughts on that. I'd love to do that. And finally, I would say I do have a 23 and a 26-year-old, and I was excited by both the diversity and also the fact that we have different demographics all the way up to those folks who are perhaps maybe in their senior years. So it just says a lot about the community that that Ward 3 is really committed to speaking out, engaging, and I hope that if nothing else, you carry that voice forward, that that's possible for everyone, and that there are lots of ways to get involved. So thank you so much.
And again, thank you for taking the leadership on the landfill. I do think, again, there's one of those interesting and important roles in our community. There's actually so many ways that just reduce recycling and reusing is being able to extend the life of our service, but also I think that some fiscal oversight. Mr. Nunnally, thank you so much for raising up something that's been very hard, and I think touched a lot of our service community, but also just our first responders. And those prayers are really important. As we swear in 6 officers today, I do think that it is always in my interest to see everybody get home safely at every time. So I hope that that is extended to our law enforcement. But I also think that I want to remind the reason that we have 6 new law enforcement is because we passed the community passed a levy, which I believe means that the community has your back, sir. So with that, thank you all in Ward 3 for showing up and being interested. I think that we are a great heart of the city and look forward to working with Mr. Luthridge, but with all of you. And also, like I say, I do hope that we find a quick way to get you all engaged in service with the city. Thank you, sir.
Sam, thank you for the tribute to the 2 firefighters. That means a lot. I know we all feel the same way. Dustin, welcome aboard. I have a stress ball up here for you. You'll need it. And those of you that put in for Ward 3 as a candidate, I too share everybody's thoughts. Stay involved, run, keep involved, come to meetings. I wish I would have before I ran and come to more meetings to educate yourself and be involved. It'll help you a lot. But first and foremost, congratulations to Dustin. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to, I guess we're doing our council time to speak here. So I would encourage everybody that applied for that Ward 3 position and anybody else that's interested to get involved with the city. There's a lot of other ways you can do that. You know, you have your chance to run here in a couple years, but you also can be part of our boards. And we're always looking for experts in different fields to glean knowledge from. Those are very important roles. Plus, you don't get yelled at like we do. So you have that little bit of anonymity there. But I really would love to see all 5 of you be involved somehow. And, you know, there's lots of opportunities, especially with your different areas of expertise. I don't think anybody else is going to touch on this because it's a really touchy subject, but I'm not shy. The city of Kalispell does not have a direct role in immigration at all. We don't have a border on our city, right? So we don't have any specific, you know, code or anything that involves that. What we do have is a mutual cooperation agreement with the county sheriff, who happens to be the only constitutional law enforcement in Montana. By the way, what I'm saying now is Sid and not the council. So these are my personal comments. I believe in supporting that constitutional law enforcement. I also really believe in another unknown rule that federal enforcement is required by the state to coordinate with the sheriff before they can operate within a county in this state. And with that, I will be extremely upset and very vocal if anything happens here that does not go through our sheriff. He is our constitutionally elected official for law enforcement here, and I really believe in that system. I personally don't like what's going on in the United States either. I don't like I'm alarmed and discouraged by our bloated and unconstitutionally powerful federal government. Everybody kind of knows that about me if you've heard me speak for the last 6 years. But I do require that they coordinate with the sheriff before they do anything here within our city, especially. And, that should trickle down through our police chief and our council here. So I want everybody to know that we are not turning a blind eye to the situation. We're going to do what we need to do, which is support our sheriff. But that doesn't mean that we can't give him suggestions as well. So I do appreciate everybody that came up here and spoke both for and against ICE involvement. Personally, I think that every department that was created after 9/11 should be abolished completely, to include Department of Homeland Security. But that's my personal feelings. And I would just love to see us come together as a community and support each other regardless of what's going on in the rest of the world. So I appreciate everybody that came up here and spoke passionately on both sides, and continue to do that. And if we learned anything from COVID, is that who are the people that we can't do without, right? Who are the people that had to work through COVID? They weren't the doctors and the lawyers and the council members and stuff like that. They were the people that stock our shelves at the grocery store, the people that load trucks, the truck drivers, the service industry people. Those are essential people. You have way more power than you think that you have. You can completely shut down the city, the county, the state if you wanted to, right? All it takes is being organized, being vocal, and getting involved. So I appreciate everybody that came up here and spoke on both sides, and I look forward to scrutinizing this issue as it goes forward. I don't want you to think that public comment just goes in one ear and out the other with us. I do realize that for every person that comes up here and actually gives public comment, there's 10 people that wanted to or had the inclination to do that, but they didn't. So we take all of that into consideration, and I like to poll my ward to see exactly what they want me to do, right? So be involved in your little wards. They do influence your council members up here. And I appreciate, once again, everybody that stood up here. It's not an easy subject to talk about right now. It's very controversial, and there's going to be people that are mad at you no matter which side you take. So thank you.
I'll just echo what everybody said about our candidates. Please stay involved, and thank you, Mr. Nunley, for your tribute to our lost firefighters. My heart goes out to their families as well, and I honor their service. I wanted to take a moment just to respond. There was an editorial in the paper this weekend that took issue with a conversation I brought up last week at the work session regarding bathrooms and the Clark's plan. And, I won't apologize for raising challenging issues at a work session, even if it sometimes generates controversy and I don't come in advance with a solution to present. It's the point of a work session to ask questions and hash things out, even when no solutions are obvious. Sometimes ideas come out of group discussions when council and staff collectively discuss an issue. And I was looking to see if something like that came forward. And sometimes it's worth publicly raising issues, even if there are no obvious solutions, in order to show the public that we are thinking about the issues, we care about them, and to highlight for the public why it is so challenging to address them. I think there are two things that were missed in the controversy, and it was not just this editorial in the paper, but there was also a lot of online commentary. One is that we learned the porta potties are available in Woodland and Lawrence Park, and that partially addressed my concern. And two, that the public reacting to the headline and pull quote that was put online, they missed that no action was taken on 24 our bathrooms. And, you know, a lot of people seem to assume that we were going to reopen the bathrooms, and that as of yet is not what's happening. So I will work hard to advance when possible, work in advance when possible to offer solutions at meetings, but that won't always be possible. I am a little bit surprised by a newspaper that editorializes in favor of public officials doing more things behind the scenes rather than in public. Journalists usually advocate for the opposite. So, last thing, many of you know I have a personal political Facebook page that I update regularly with information about the city and my views. And unfortunately, because of my changed phone number last year, I have been permanently locked out of that account. And so I'm going to have to create a new page. I have close to 500 followers on that page, so if you're somebody who follows that page, please keep an eye out. I will be creating a new page that you can follow. So with that, we are adjourned.